Hi, this is coconut water. So maybe you don't realize it, but you make other people uncomfortable. And I'm talking about insecure people. And maybe somehow you can feel how they feel threatened by your presence. And so you try to dim your own light because you don't like to make people uncomfortable, which is quite normal actually. But the problem is that you keep adapting to others so that they don't feel bad about themselves. You keep adapting to what you think they want you to be so that they can feel good about themselves. Somehow by anticipating this pattern might be ingrained in you so deeply that you don't even realize it, that you don't even realize that you have this automatic habit of trying to blend in, of trying to not appear great at something, might not try to appear you don't want to take up too much space, you don't want people to look at you, but it's not because you feel bad about yourself. It's because you don't feel like you are allowed to take the space, because you feel like you're taking it from other people. And maybe you from this pattern you keep meeting people that are actually very insecure, and they feel so threatened by you that they try to make you think you are not as worthy as you are. They are trying to make you feel like you don't compete with them or something, that you don't compete with some other people, that you're not beautiful, that you're not talented, that you don't really count. But that's not true at all. And if you don't even see this pattern in yourself, you cannot stop. You don't even realize when people are putting you down, because you're doing it yourself. Because when you hang out with people who are not really respecting you, you just repeat the pattern, because you hang out with people that are low vibrational people. You hang out with them, you don't respect yourself by doing that. You can clearly feel the disconnect between you and these people. You can clearly feel that it's not on the same level, because I don't think there are levels to the value of people. Everyone is worthy, everyone is a god, everyone is a consciousness that is completely neutral. However, we all vibrate at different levels. So when you hang out with these people because you don't want to upset them, because you don't even realize that you are vibrating way higher, of course, there is a part of you that is still vibrating as low as they are, because you don't respect yourself. That is just a reflection of you not respecting your own worth. In metaphysical, the definition of sin is to go against the truth, it's to go against the self. It's everything related to fear, worry, and doubt. And when you hang out with people who don't respect you, with people who try to put you down in covert ways, you are actually sinning. That's sin, because you are doing against you. You are acting against yourself. And so, because you don't respect this part of you, because you don't see that you deserve to take a lot of space, because you don't see that you deserve to be successful at something, that you deserve your story to be heard, you attract people that reflect that. And I will go as far as to say, subconsciously, you can feel the difference. You don't really respect these low vibrational people. You don't really respect them, you don't admire them. And so what happens? Because you hang out with people you don't respect, you hang out with people you don't admire, what happens? You meet people that don't respect you. It's just the law of reciprocity. If you don't respect people truly, you like them, that's all right. You are fine with them. You don't have conflict. You are not really judging them or criticizing them. None of that. But in your heart, you know that you deserve better. You know that you want people who lift you up, not people who keep you stagnant or put you down. And as I said, that is a form of sin. And you have to start choosing yourself. You have to start realizing this pattern in you. If you want to change, if you want your life to change, you have to start taking the space. You have to start acting for your own good instead of trying so hard to be humble for the wrong reasons. Because humility is a very good quality, except when it's because you don't want to take up the space and you don't want to shine. Because when you don't want to shine, first of all, that's selfish. Because maybe you are keeping someone away from your gift. Maybe some people need your gift. Some people need to hear you. Some people need to read your words. That's selfish of you if you know what you should do and you're not doing it because you're scared. And you know, there is this funny thing. I know it might be taken. I need to put nuance on what I'm saying, but I know the people who will get it, and the others, that's alright. There is a criticism, you know, in social media right now that you need to stop with the main character syndrome. Actually, you know what I think? Is that some people are the main characters. Some people are the main characters of their own life. And it's not about narcissism. It's not about being entitled and going to disturb people and control. That's the difference between narcissism and main character attitude. Because a main character doesn't try to control others, doesn't try to control the circumstance. They just act and do their best, but they also take up the space. They also accept that they have strength. That's the healthy thing. The healthy thing is realizing that you have strength. Also, you have faults, you have weaknesses, all right. But I guess everybody can admit to that, or not the narcissist. But you can admit that you have faults. But you can also admit that you have strength and you can use them and you can take up the space. And you know, for me, it has been such a journey because I was always trying to fit in, but never really managing to fit in somehow. Even though I tried very hard, I would always analyze subconsciously what the person wanted me to be, and if the person didn't want me to shine too bright, didn't want me to feel too beautiful, didn't want me to be too happy, I would, okay. But I didn't even feel aware of this. It all happened as a subconscious mechanism. And when I realized that, and it's even the same when some people look at me funny when I'm in the stores or something, and or just walking around, and some people just look at me funny, and I think, oh my god, what have I done wrong? Why are they looking at me funny? I feel like I'm disturbing them. Because they are looking at me funny, I feel like I'm disturbing them. But then I realized that that's not my responsibility in this context. I am allowed to disturb some people. And you know, there is another example. So I've been hitting the gym and I've lost weight, but to me, I was quite detached from the goal of losing weight. So I'm happy that it happened because I like it. And I told someone that I lost weight, and this person, they are also trying to lose weight. And then I just told them, I didn't brag or anything. I just said, well, I've been hitting the gym and I lost weight, so I don't really care about eating a cookie right now. And I felt, at first I thought it was just a neutral exchange, like an information I'm giving you. But then I felt this person like, oh, you lost weight. Well, I didn't. And, you know, I felt like I was not allowed to, you know, there are some patterns in me in the past where I would have try to make them feel better, like, oh yeah, but don't worry, I just lost just a little bit of weight, it's fine, not that much, it's because I've been I try to justify myself, just so I don't make them feel comfortable. But you see how that makes you so small, because you cannot succeed in anything when you hang out with low vibrational people. You cannot succeed because your success makes them feel uncomfortable. So if you are in the habit of trying to make others comfortable in this sense, if you are scared to break the status quo, you are scared to make ruffles, so to speak, you might be in this situation right now. You might try to make others feel better by not shining too bright. But I'm here to tell you, it's time to shine. Now, it is time. You are allowed. You are talented. You are worthy. You're valuable. You're loved by the universe. You deserve every success you're striving for, because the God that put the desire in you is going to give you the success you deserve. God is not about unfairness and injustice. You don't have to earn something from your sweat and blood, Like, of course you have to act, but you already deserve it just because you are. Just as you are right now. And it's not your job to make others feel comfortable. And again, I'm trying to add nuance when I say that. Of course, if you invite someone at your house, you want to make them comfortable to some extent, And I'm a person who values trying to give somebody a good experience. I love to try to understand the needs of the person I have in front of me. But the problem is that when you do that too much, you really forget about yourself. You forget about your success, and you even start to use others as an excuse not to do what you want. You start to focus on their projects, right? Now help them. That's what I used to do. I used to focus on everybody's projects except mine, and that's when I started to be selfish. And this world is very heavy, because I felt like I would be such a bad person if I started to focus on myself. And if I started to accept that I have strength, if I started to accept that I am allowed to take space, I am allowed to be who I am, and it's not my responsibility if it disturbs others. And when you start to level up, you start to level up in many areas of your life, you will see that you disturb even more people. So if you want success, you have to be able to feel at ease with letting people down in some way, because you have not promised them anything anyway. You have not promised them to stay on the level. So you have to be able to accept that you will make people uncomfortable. You already do, but that's not your responsibility to shrink yourself so that they feel comfortable. Just because they feel envy or jealousy, because you are going forward, because you are striving to break your shadow. Of course, you can help them, you can be there for them, but you cannot lose yourself in them anymore. You cannot sacrifice your own well-being, because you don't even realize that when you do that, you're not able to show up properly for other people. You're not even your best self when you do that, because it's like everybody's drowning, and you are the one trying to keep people on the surface, but you are the one under the water when you're doing that. So at some point you have to let go of others and just swim and breathe air for yourself. You are allowed to breathe and go forward with what you want. So there might be another thing, to this extent of making people comfortable. When there is a silence, for example, or when someone is nervous, I used to try to make conversation, like to make, I could not let people be uncomfortable. I could not let people suffer, but it's not suffering, but like suffer the discomfort of silence, suffer the discomfort of social anxiety. I was taking it upon myself to fill the gaps with everyone. So I would always strive to understand more, and I would extend myself so that people know what to do at all times. I could not um, let the things happen as they were. Because I was the one who was uncomfortable. I was the one who was uncomfortable by just being myself. I thought I had to overextend. I thought I had to let go of the flow of the conversation, even if there is silence, even if there is discomfort, even if I have to say no to someone. Um, and it went as far as at some point I was not able to go into a shop, and if the seller had been nice to me, I would buy something. Because I felt too guilty leaving the shop without anything. I didn't dare disappoint this person, this stranger. So you can imagine, if, or thankfully it did not last long and I learned to leave shops without buying anything, but I imagine there are so many people who are feeling the same. And you are not mean for choosing you. You are not mean by following your intuition. You are not mean for disappointing people. It happens. You cannot always fold yourself to appease others. And I guess it goes with something else, another concept I wanted to talk about. It's the fact of letting go of expectations, especially in relationships or social interactions. When you have expectations of how things should be, of how the relationship should go on, you are at the risk of feeling bad if it doesn't go that way, of course. But that blocks you from the true essence, the true flow of life. And often when you are trying to control a social interaction, it is because you think you know how you want the other person to feel. You think you know how you want to feel. You want to adhere, to stay on a pattern of social interaction that you've seen before. And so you completely block out the way for something new to reveal itself, because you are too attached to what you've seen in the past. You don't always say what you mean. You don't always say what you want, and that again is a way of blocking yourself. It's a way of not telling the truth of who you are because you are afraid of disappointing. Maybe it's not even disappointing this person in particular. Maybe it's about breaking the social norm, breaking the social rules. And I get that the rules and norms are very useful and to some extent, but they are also preventing us from having soulful connections and to express the true essence of who we are. Um, and so many people get lost in this game. So many people just play, and they get so tired, but they don't even realize what else is possible, you know. But yeah, I guess the message today, to summarize everything, it's take the space. Try to take a step and accept that you make people uncomfortable. Accept that people around you might look at you weird in funny ways, might try to exclude you from successful people. When they talk about successful people, they talk about beautiful people. And you might accept this on a subconscious level. You might accept to be put down, you might accept to be reduced, and that's not your job to care about how people feel um, about you. Like, treat them well, of course, be polite, be nice to them, but you have to know the difference, the nuance between completely reducing yourself and disallowing yourself from shining, disallowing yourself from being the main character of your life. Because when you are in this sort of interaction, you automatically shift to a filler role. You're like just you're a secondary role in their life. You're not the main character of your life anymore. You're just seeing things from the point of view that they are the main character and you are just their, the second character, the second role. And no, you're not to be blamed. And actually, I think that's when you start accepting that you have this power, that you have the power because you are strong. You are meant for something greater. If you're watching this video, you are meant for something greater. You know your purpose. You know your soul has called you. You know God has called you for a special mission. And so it's normal that the people who cannot face this reality in themselves, they know, they see it in your eyes, they can feel, and you feel it when you see them. You feel that they feel uncomfortable. You feel that they look at you like you've done something that hurt them, but you've just said hello, and that already triggers them. And when that happens, coupled with the fact that you are a people pleaser, that's just a recipe for disaster, and you being invisible and you never reaching your goals. Because if you have this sort of impact and you feel uncomfortable, you cannot go further. Because as I told you, when you start to take the space, when you start to succeed, when you start to look better because you hit the gym, when you start to dress better because you got more money, people are going to feel resentful because they cannot bring themselves to do it themselves. So yeah, keep on shining, follow your heart, follow your intuition, and stop feeling guilty about being who you are. Stop feeling guilty about being the main character of your life, the queen or king of your life, not the king or the queen of the world, because there are many kings, many queens, but you are the queen or the king of your world. And you should look the part, act the part. All right. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment how you can show up for yourself and honor the divinity in you. How can you honor the king or queen that you are truly inside, and that we all are, only if we recognize it. And I hope to see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell because it really helps my channel grow. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.